Destroyer.
What's up guys? Welcome back to Toon, Duelists. In this video I'm going to show you a basic combo of our RB Sky Striker deck profile, and afterwards we're gonna draw some test hands to show you how this deck really performs. Obviously, if you haven't already, don't forget to check out the deck profile so you know what I'm working with right here, and if you want to see this deck in action, also check out the Nexus replays. Guys, I'm super excited to show this one to you guys. The combos are something special right here. You have some kind of basic combo, obviously, but you can go down so many different routes with this deck, which makes it so interesting, not only playing against it, but also playing it yourself. So guys, I'm super excited. Let's dive right into it. But before we do, don't forget to like and subscribe. This would really help us a lot. It's one small click for you, but means the world to us, of course. Obviously, if you want to further support us, you can also check out our Instagram and our Twitch channel with the links in the description. And without further ado, let's dive right into it. Alright guys, we're gonna start with the very basic RB only one card combo right here. All you need is one copy of Funk Dog or one Stage Landing. Obviously you can search Funk Dog with Terraforming, so you have 7 cards that can start this combo. Now I'm gonna show you both ways real quick. If you have, let's say, Stage Landing, then you activate your Stage Landing and you bring out your Brute Blues right here. And after that, you use the effect of Brute Blues, search Funk Dog, activate Funk Dog, and search the second copy of Stage Landing. Basically, that's the point where those two combos, or the card you start with, really stop mattering. Because the other way around, let's say you start with a Funk Dog and not with a Stage Landing, then you activate Funk Dog, add Stage Landing, activate Stage Landing, bring out Brute Blues, and then add your second Stage Landing. So it doesn't really matter, but that's just the way you start this combo. Anyways, you then use your second copy of Stage Landing to special summon from your deck your Lambda Cannon. Then you're gonna use the effect of your Lambda Cannon. You're gonna pay 1200 life points, destroy this card, do not protect it with Stage Landing, because in this scenario, the effect won't resolve. So you use it, you look at your opponent's hand, which is already amazing, and let's say he has a monster in his hand and you special summon this monster. Doesn't really matter what it is. This will then trigger the effect of Funk Dog. Because an RB monster was destroyed, you can special summon from your deck, and you want to special summon your Lambda Blade. Lambda Blade has its on summon effect now and can foolish another RB monster, which is gonna be your Driller right here. Next up, you're gonna use your Brute Blues and your Lambda Blade to go into a Link 2, which is your Valkan Booster. On summon, you can use Valkan Booster's effect and search your third and final copy of Stage Landing. And this is why I say you have to run 3. I know it's the most pricey card of the deck, but as you can see, you need 3 copies in your basic combo. Next up, you're gonna use the effect of Valkan Booster to bring back your Lambda Cannon right here and move it to another zone, or to another main monster zone basically. This will activate the effect of Lambda Cannon, and you can now add back your Driller from your graveyard. Now you can use those two to go into another copy of your Brute Blues. Next thing you want to do is use your Stage Landing, and this time you want to bring out your Shepherd's Crook. Now you can use the effect of Shepherd's Crook to set a trap, and the better trap, at least in my opinion, is obviously Next Phase, which you're gonna set right here. Now you can even special summon your Driller, because you haven't special summoned it with its own effect and you only control RB monsters. You can now use the effect of Driller to shoot the monster of your opponent and itself, but this time you want to protect it with your Stage Landing, and in the case of Driller, the effect will still resolve. And ladies and gentlemen, that's basically your end board. But it gets even crazier during your opponent's turn. Because obviously, once he summons any monster on the field, you have your Driller once again. This time you shoot it though, and shoot a monster of your opponent. So this is our first interruption. We have a monster shoot. This will then activate the effect of Funk Dog. And Funk Dog lets you bring out your Cutter. And Cutter means we have another spell trap negate. So this is a negate we have on this field. And then we can also use Shepherd's Crook. We can send back or target 3 monsters. We're gonna send back Driller and Lambda Cannon to bring back Lambda Blade. So this one right here is a monster steal. And you still have your monster negate and pop right here. So in total, with this very, very basic combo, you end on 1 monster shoot as an interruption, a spell trap negate, a monster steal, and a monster negate and destroy. And this is only all out of 1 card. Pretty amazing if you ask me, but next up I want to show you what the Sky Striker side of this deck can do for you. Alright, so for the Sky Striker combo, or how do you get into your RB combo with Sky Striker, we basically only need 1 Scion, so it's still a 1-card combo. Obviously, you can search it with Engage right here, and I have Hornet Drones out because the other day one of my friends actually asked me why I even play Scionos, because with obviously Engage, you can add Hornet Drones, get a token, Kagari adds back Hornet Drones, get another token, second Sky Striker, and you're into booster. Yes, this works, but I'm about to show you why Scionos is so much better. I'm gonna explain that while we're doing the combo. Obviously, as you can see, you have 6 starters for this combo line right here. So what you're gonna do is normal summon Scionos. I have to mention though, you can also special summon it. Let's say you're in the scenario where you have an Engage in hand, or even 2. You don't really need more than 1, so you could discard a spell to special summon it, but normal summoning is totally fine. So you normal summon Scionos. This will activate Scionos effect to special summon from your deck your Rose right here. You link away Rose to go into Jizuku right here. And now you can use both of them to go into your booster. So yes, you could have also done this with Hornet Drones, but yeah, Scionos has some more in store for us. Unsummon effect of Booster lets you add your Funk Dog. You're gonna activate Funk Dog to add your first copy of Stage Landing. You're gonna activate Stage Landing to special summon from your deck your Lambda Cannon. Obviously, you want to use the effect of Lambda Cannon. You shoot itself, pay 1200 life points, look at your opponent's hand, and there you go, you rip a monster out of your opponent's hand. This will activate Funk Dog, which will bring out a Lambda Blade. And with Lambda Blade, you can now Foolish an RB Driller. Now you're going to use the effect of Booster and special summon from your grave your Lambda Cannon. Lambda Cannon's effect will activate to add you back your Driller. Now you can use Valkan Booster and Cannon to go into your main monster. It is obviously Brute Blues. Now you can special summon your Driller into a zone Brute Blues points to, obviously, and you're gonna activate Brute Blues to add another second Stage Landing. This time you're actually gonna search next phase straight up, because that's all we really need. Now we can actually activate Scionos effect, and that's the point why I say it is better than the combo with Hornet Drones, because we can extend now for another Rose. And the great thing now is that we can first and foremost obviously use Driller, shoot it and protect it with our Stage Landing, and we can now use all 3 of those to go into Shepherd's Crook, because Shepherd's Crook needs 2 or more monsters and one of them has to be an RB monster. So you can use Rose actually for your Shepherd's Crook, which is amazing. You want to now use the effect of Shepherd's Crook to add your other trap, or set your other trap, which will be your Last Standing. So this is your end board in this scenario right here. It may not look like much, but let me explain what you can do with this. Now obviously, with RB Last Stand, you can basically bring out whatever you want at any time. You can just bring out any RB monster from your deck, extra deck or graveyard, which is already insane. Obviously, we have the Monster Negate right here, and with Shepherd's Crook, we can at any time bring back our Lambda Blade. This would be my recommendation at least. Just shuffle those 2 back, bring back Lambda Blade. With RB Last Stand, I would probably go because I think spell trap negates are the most powerful. I would probably, as soon as possible, bring out your cutter right here. And once we use our cutter, for example, or our lambda blade, so let's say one of them is shot, you can activate Funk Dog for another interruption. For example, your shuffled back driller right here. So as you can see, you have 2 interruptions right here. You have a monster negate, you have a spell trap negate right here. So once again, an amazing end board just out of 1 card. But I say, next up, it's time to dive into some test hands to show you what you can do with more than just 1 card. Alright guys, test hand number 1, this is gonna be fun. Let's see what we can do with those 5 right here. Alright, basically we have a basic combo right here. We're gonna drop the Fuva. K9 is a thing, Tune is a thing, you know the deal. Now we're gonna activate Stage Landing, basically do our basic combo right here. We bring out Brute Blues. We activate Brute Blues' effect to search Funk Dog. We activate Funk Dog. Funk Dog's effect on activation will let us search our second copy of Stage Landing. We activate it and we bring out our Lambda Cannon. With our Lambda Cannon, we use its effect, pay 1200, shoot it, look at our opponent's hand, see the nib or whatever starter he has, and summon it on their field. We activate Funk Dog now because an RB monster was shot, and we can bring out Lambda Blade. And Lambda Blade will Foolish, and we want to Foolish Driller right here. Next thing you want to do is use those 2 to go into your Valkan Booster. On summon effect of Valkan Booster will let us add our final copy of Stage Landing. Now we're gonna activate the second effect of Booster. We're gonna bring back Lambda Cannon and move this down here. This will activate the effect of Cannon and we can add back our Driller. Next thing you want to do is link those 2 away and go into Brute Blues once again. Next up, you're gonna use your Stage Landing and bring out Shepherd's Crook. You can now special summon Driller, use Driller's effect, shoot the monster, and obviously you want to protect it with Stage Landing. Oops, this one is also gone. Made a little mess right here, doesn't matter. Obviously you want to summon this in defense. And now you can use Shepherd's Crook. And this time, because we already drawn into next phase, obviously we're gonna add or set straight from our deck our Last Stand. You set this and now you have your Regulus. You want to equip Booster or one of your Link monsters. You want to still have access to your main deck monsters, and you special summon out Regulus, and that's your end board. So we have a little extension to our basic combo right here. We do not only have an interruption in a monster shoot, and once we do this, obviously we can bring out another RB monster, which gives us a spell negate. So 1 interruption, monster shoot. Then we have 1 spell or trap negate. With Shepherd's Crook, we can bring back Lambda Blade, which would be a monster steal. Then we have Regulus right here, which is an Omni. We have another monster negate, a counter trap. Don't underestimate this, unchainable, except with other counter traps, obviously. And then we also have Last Stand. So if we use Lambda Blade or GA10, it doesn't really matter. We can, for example, still bring out our Pile Bunker, which is an amazing card because it puts so much pressure on your opponent, because once he attacks your Brute Blues, for example, you can just shoot his whole field. Also, it will obviously push your Brute Blues to immense attack boost. You still have a draw, obviously, which is amazing. So guys, as you can see, this board is basically insanely hard to beat, and so many interactions you can have with your opponent right here. Alright guys, test hand number 2. Let's see what we can do with those 5 right here. Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Let's see. Now obviously in your draw phase, you want to activate Hornet Drones. Hornet Drones is only live when you have no monsters in your main monster zone, so you want to activate it straight away while this is the case. So you special summon a token and Hornet Drones wears off. Standby main, and you use your token to go into a Kagari right here, let's say. Now you use Kagari's on-summon effect and add back Hornet drones. Now you could use Engage, but honestly, why should you? You can't add anything. You can add a third copy of Xionus, but that's not really the point right here. What you're gonna do instead is you're gonna use Hornet drones again as long as it's live and bring out another token. Now you have to use your Kagari first. Obviously, you can't use your token for Link Summon in this scenario. And go into Hayate. Now you use your token to go into Shizuku. And now you're at the point where you can use those two to go into your booster. And booster's effect will activate to search a stage landing. This is very good that we have Funk Dog in the hand and we played a lot of cards. A lot of cards your opponent most of the time wants to Ash or negate in any way, but we could protect our Funk Dog that way, so that's pretty great. Next thing you want to do is activate Funk Dog, activate its on activation effect. If that's, I don't know if that's right. Yeah, all right. Anyways, we're gonna search and we're gonna search our second stage landing right now and right here. What you're gonna do now is activate one of your stage landings to bring out your cannon. Next up, you're gonna activate the effect of cannon, pay 1,200, shoot it, look at your opponent's hand, summon a monster, and this will now activate Funk Dog. And with Funk Dog, you will bring out your blade, actually. Now I have to switch sides for the next few steps. I'm gonna show to you in a moment why. Now, Lambda Blades on summon effect, you're gonna Foolish your Driller. Now you use Valkan Booster, you bring back Cannon, you set this one right here, and now you use those two to go into Brute Blues. Now I normally don't use this side because the reflection of the light is just, oh, and Nibiru is also reflecting like hell. Well, let's put this here and yeah, does it work? Does that work? Yeah, it works like this. All right, fine. Now we activate Brute Blues, obviously, to add, actually, I would go for an Operation Test in this scenario, and I'm gonna show you why in a minute. Did I forget to bring, yeah, oh, I forgot to add back Driller. When you bring back Lambda Cannon, obviously, you can bring back your Driller to your hand. I didn't do this, sorry. But yeah, Driller is in hand. Now we're back in the game. What you can do next is special summon your Driller first of all. Now you shoot the monster, you protect your Driller with your stage landing. This one leaves the field and we still have our Driller right here. Now we can use our stage landing to special summon from the extra deck our Shepherd's Crook. With Shepherd's Crook effect, we're obviously gonna straight up set next phase. And the interesting thing we can do now is we can activate Operation Test. With Operation Test, you can bring back Lambda Cannon. We don't really need it too much, but we can now just normal summon Xionus. We don't need to use Xionus effect. Our Rose is in the... Oh no, we have Rose in the deck. True. Anyway, doesn't really matter because we don't want to keep it on the field. We don't have any space to summon. We don't need it to, because we only use it to go into our Clockwork Knight. We now use the on-summon effect of Clockwork Knight and shoot Operation Test to add Clockwork Knight. And now we can activate our Clockwork Knight. And for example, you could, use those two for a Barricade Board blocker. And with the effect of your Barricade Board blocker, you can now discard, well, basically Engage. You don't really have any use for this. To add back Operation Test, so you have another extender in your next turn. And you can basically leave it at that. So that would be your end board right here. Now what do we have on the field? Our Clockwork Knight and our Funk Dog are protected by Barricade Board blocker. So what do we have right here? All of our opponent's monsters are machines, which can be a huge floodgate for them and gives a boost to our own monsters. We obviously have our monster negate and pop right here. Then we have a monster shoot. If we shoot a monster with our Funk Dog, we can bring out a cutter. If we use cutter, we have a spell trap negate, sorry. If we use Lambda Blade, we have a take control of a monster, and with our Shepherd's Crook, we can, for example, bring back something like, well, we used Cutter, we used Driller, we used Lambda Blade. You don't really have a good target to bring back, I'm gonna be honest with you. In this scenario, if you use it at all, probably Driller, because with Operation Test, you could, of course, bring back your cannon, for example, so you might want to keep this. So we're gonna shuffle back those two. So we just have another Driller for attack boost. It doesn't really matter too much, because honestly, you have more interruptions than in your basic combo, and it's an amazing end board once again right here. The best thing about this board, though, is your recovery right here. You still have Cyanos, and Rose is still in the extra deck, so you can still rip off your Cyanos combo with Operation Test as an additional extender. So even if your opponent breaks your board right here, you have 2 cards in your hand that will easily let you build up your board again. So once again, guys, amazing end board right here. Alright guys, third and final test hand number 3. Let's see. Okay. Untypical, but we can work with this. We're obviously dropping the Fuwa in our draw, standby, and main. What we have to do now, actually, is we have to special summon our Driller, because we control no monsters or only RB monsters. We normal summon Rose. With Rose, we go into Shizuku, and we have to use those two for our booster. On summon effect booster, we're gonna add Funk Dog. We activate Funk Dog, and Funk Dog adds Stage Landing. We activate Stage Landing, and with Stage Landing, we bring out our Lambda Cannon. We could use it to bring back Driller now, but we don't want to. We summon it, we use its effect, we pay life points, shoot it, and special summon a monster from our opponent's hand. This will activate Funk Dog, and we will bring out our Lambda Blade. Lambda Blade on summon will Foolish Driller, obviously. And next thing you want to do is activate Valkan Booster. We bring back Cannon and move it down here. Cannon's effect will add back Driller. Now we use Cannon and Booster to go into our Brute Blues. We use the effect of Brute Blues to add Stage Landing right here. Next up, we special summon Driller, and we use Driller's effect, shoot the monster of our opponent, and protect it with our Stage Landing. And with our final Stage Landing, we use it to bring out our Shepherd's Crook. With Shepherd's Crook, we obviously want to set our next phase. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we end our board right here. So what do we have right here? We obviously have 2 Ash even, but we can only activate 1, obviously, so we have an Ash. We have a Monster Steal Life, and we have a Monster Shoot. It doesn't matter which one we use first. Whenever we do so, we can special summon another one from our deck. But you have to be cautious now, because we obviously want to activate Shepherd's Crook once a zone is free right here. So let's say we use Driller, then you want to activate Shepherd's Crook, and you want to bring back your Cutter, obviously. So we can bring back Cutter and have a Spell Negate. So Monster Pop, Spell Negate. Once we use this, we can use Funk Dog to, for example, bring out, well, I guess Pile Bunker. It's the only one you can technically use during your opponent's turn, if he attacks Brute Blues at least, which, yeah, it's not really often the case. You could also bring out Lambda Cannon to have another add back of Saw or Drill. Would also be great for follow-up, probably. But yeah, it basically is up to you. With Lambda Blade, we have a Monster Steal, and we have another Monster Negate right here. So in total, we have Steal, Spell Trap Negate, a Shoot with Driller, a Negate and Shoot with next phase, and a complete board wipe if he attacks Brute Blues at least. So guys, once again, a pretty amazing end board right here, if you ask me. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, definitely leave a like and a subscription. This would really help us a lot. It's one small click for you, but means the world to us, of course. course. If you want to further support us, you can also check out our Twitch and our Instagram channel with the links in the description. This would really be amazing. And of course, don't forget to let me know what you think about this basic combo and those test hands. We always love to read and answer your comments and stay in touch with our community that way. If you haven't already, don't forget to check out the deck profile, and if you want to see this deck in action, check out the Nexus replays. So guys, thanks so much for watching, and until next time, have a good one.